welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you my little splurge. I hopped onto Amazon and bought myself a few more coloring things, partly because I needed a couple of things and partly because I just wanted to. I don't know about you, but I quite enjoy a little bit of shopping retail therapy, and it's been a few months since I bought myself coloring stuff, so I thought I would just indulge. So I'm gonna show you what I've bought, and I'll flip through the coloring books as well. I've got a few to show you. So the first thing I bought, and it's still in its bag because I haven't opened it, is the Windsor and Newton Primarka brush alcoholic blender. Now, I have seen a couple of videos where the artist or colorist has used the alcohol blender to blend pencils, and it looked quite effective, so I thought I would indulge myself and give it a try and see how it works. So I'm quite excited to try this, and I'm intrigued to see how it will react on different paper. You know, will it work on thicker paper, thinner paper? How is it going to work? So I'm also trying to step out into new things and not stay solely in colored pencils. And then I went and I bought myself some gel pens. Now, I will be sharing these with my kids, and that's why I didn't go and buy anything fancy. It came with refills, so I can easily refill them. And I just open this up. It's just a cheap brand, nothing fancy really. There's the Chinese or Asian brand here. There's the colors. It's 96 pens, including the refills. And I've used pens like this before, and they work really well. I mean, I don't really at the moment see the difference between these sort of gel pens versus a Sakura Jelly Roll. I'm just not experienced in it, but I thought it would be nice to have some gel pens so things could look a bit more fun. And I also wanted the neon colors and the glitter gel pens. Next, I went and bought myself 2 books, and the first one is Dragonology and the second one is Gnomes in the Neighborhood. Alright, so Dragonology is the coloring companion based on Dr. Ernest Drake's Dragonology and printed by the Templar Company. And here's your title page. On the left hand side we have a few practical tips. Pencil is the recommended medium, but if you are advanced and you're comfortable or adventurous, then you could use felted pens, watercolors, any medium you like. So it has a write-up on each dragon, and on the left hand side, on the right hand side, they have the picture. So this is the European dragon, and this dragon can be red, green, black, or occasionally gold, with piercing eyes that can range from golden yellow to olive green. Their belly has a smoother, paler appearance than the rest of their body, with less armor than the back and sides, which are covered in scales and thick spines. So he gives a bit of a background on each dragon and gives you recommended color scheme for it. So you can either stick to it or do your own thing. There's no right or wrong way of coloring it. And this is the Knucker, and he's an interesting one because his body can be brown, dull red, or greenish blue, but often becomes caked in mud, which obscures its true color, making it appear a slimy brown. So I've been trying to mull in my head how I would create a slimy brown texture and look. Then you have the Gargoyle, who is grey or green. Then there's the Frost Dragon, which apparently is exceedingly rare. So he would be colored pure white or white tinged with blue or pink and shimmering scales, piercing yellow eyes as well. So it's a really, really lovely book. I've had my eye on it for quite a few months now, and I quite liked the idea of having a write-up on the coloring page with recommended color scheme, because it would just take the guesswork out of it. And the drawing is absolutely exquisite. I also like dragons. For many years, my kids and I and my husband, we've watched the How to Train Your Dragon series and absolutely enjoy that. So I think we just as a family enjoyed the whole fantasy genre as well. And then you have your Asian dragon. So this is the Chinese lung, and he is red, orange, or bright yellow in both sexes during breeding season, and the males have white stag-like horns, which are here. Then you have the Korean Yong, which is yellow or gold, depending on your choice. The Japanese Ryu, which is blue, green, red, or gold. And this would be a female because the females have a feathered tail. Then you get the lindworm, which is kind of reminds me a little bit of ammonites. And this one, its color varies from pale green to orange to sandy yellow depending on the local terrain, affording the lindworm good camouflage. So when I get to it, I want to kind of camouflage it into the rock. You get the Hydra with the mirror at the bottom. The Mexican amphitheater, American amphitheater. I like this one, incognito. Here it seems, according to the write-up, nobody really knows what color it is. Some have described it as being gold and silver. So you could always color the dragon silver and then do these little details in a gold. I'd probably use a gold gel pen for that. Then you get the Australian inspired dragon. So this is the marsupial dragon, which you can see is inspired by kangaroos. The Tasmanian dragon, the Cockatrice. It really reminds me of a cockerel. Cockatrices are usually red, sometimes green, with a yellowish orange belly. I would take inspiration from an actual cockerel and try weave in some of those colors as well. Let's probably make the crest red. I'd keep the belly yellowish orange and maybe do the tail green. Then you have the phoenix, the sea serpent, Dracanosaurus titanicus, And some of these dragons do eat humans. It's quite funny, actually. So some of them like humans, some of them eat humans, some of them eat whatever fits in their mouth. And then you have the prehistoric. So this is Dracanosaurus Rex. And I had such a giggle when I read the write-up, because one of the last prehistoric species of dragon, D-Rex as it is affectionately known, seems to have evolved to prey almost exclusively on early Homo sapiens. These early humans proved such easy pickings that D-Rex gradually lost its ability to fly or breathe fire, relying instead on its vicious teeth and claws to ensure victory over its prey. Despite its huge size, D-Rex's lack of intelligence proved its greatest drawback when Homo sapiens invented the spear, and thus it soon became extinct. While even the most experienced dragonologists can only speculate, some theorize that D-Rex evolved to blend in with its surroundings by having sky blue scales underneath and green coloring above. Unfortunately, during the volcanic explosions of the Upper Paleolithic, the sky blue parts may, unluckily, have made them stand out all too clearly against the soot-darkened skies, making them clear targets for spear-wielding humans. Oh, it's so funny. And then you have Draco stupidus, who looks more like a Draco... oh, my mind's gone blank. Then you have the dodo dragon. Oh, this is the bush dragon, which is the page I'm selected to color in next. The monkey dragon. And it even tells you that the eggs were a variety of pinks and reds. So he really does help you along with the colors. The humming dragon, which whatever the butterfly is, the dragon is, and because it eats the butterflies. You have the Indian naga, and then finally the Sargasso dragon. And then the back of the book, and it was first published in the UK in 2016. So that is my new book, Dragonology, by Dr. Ernest Drake. Then I also went and got myself Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denise Clitt. And I've had my eye on Gnomes in the Neighborhood for probably a good year now. And I just love Christmas gnomes, and these drawings, when I first saw them, I just fell in love with them. So I've just been holding off to make sure I really wanted to buy the book and not just indulge on a whim, because I do really want to color in as many of the pages in all the books I buy. So this is the first page, and it was published in 2018 by St. Martin's Press. And again, it's single-sided, which is really, really lovely. So you can use markers, watercolors. You don't have to worry about bleed through. I would still put a cardstock page between the pages I'm working on, so it doesn't bleed. Nothing spoils the next illustration. They're just so beautiful and so sweet, and just, I just love them. I really love her style. And I love the grumpy owls. I don't know what happened that made them so grumpy. Oh. I want to color this one with the tutorial from Helen Elliston's The Colorist Special Effects. She's got a tutorial on colouring flowers with a similar shape to this, so I want to try that tutorial and see how it works. And here they're having that tea party. I would probably do the polka dot one pink. Maybe this one like a light creamy beige with a light blue on the top, or a dark blue. I'm still tussling up colors. I love this one, having a curl up in the garden with a book. I mean, why not? It sounds so relaxing. Or this one, you know, it looks like more of the philosophical type. Gnomes, do they exist? Like researching the very depths of gnomes. Or even this one. This one reminds me of a friend of mine, a very special friend. She absolutely loves reading. And she has a wealth of knowledge. It's just phenomenal, actually. Oh, and hammocks. I love hammocks. I think it's so cool. He's got a hammock outside his house. And watering the garden. It'll make you laugh when I look through the designs and notice that all the female gnomes, they've been given these beautifully luscious boobs. It's just brilliant. I love how whimsical and fun the drawings are, and in some ways parts of them are so out of proportion and almost caricaturish, and I just think it's brilliant. So I've picked this one to do, and I have a special reason for doing it. So when I do get round to completing it, I'll tell you the story behind it, but I don't want to spoil it now. Oh, and I love this one. He's looking at the fairy. It took me a while to notice that there's actually a fairy. This is so cool. Sorry guys, this is the third time I'm going through this book, and I still absolutely love it. And I was actually surprised at how many pages it really has. I mean, it's got a lot of pictures to color in, and I think it's both wow, I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it all, and at the same time really awesome because you've got so much choice. And I love the wardrobe. And see, selfies. Why not? Take a selfie with your bestie. You're on the high street. Having a nap on a pile of roses instead of a haystack. And then you get some winter and Christmas pictures, which I also thought is quite fun. So for winter season, it doesn't even have to be Christmas, just winter. There's something fun to color. This reminds me of The Princess and the Pea, except there's no pea, but you know, all the mattresses. And here, instead of the princess and the pea, is the prince, like the princess, gnome, and the frog. It's just such fun. It's absolutely just gorgeous fun. You have the farmer gnomes. And here's where they bring in a dog. So the gnomes have a dog. And as far as I can see, the dog's name is Norman. So they're writing Norman, giving Norman a bath, protecting Norman from the rain. How sweet. And then you go to like the holidays. So the gnomes are out on holiday. I like the van. They're at the beach doing the hula. If you'd like to see me color in this book, please do let me know in the comments. I'd happily do a video. Bubble fishing. I suppose it catches the fish and then sticks it in a bubble. Oh, it's like thoughtful and sweet at the same time, because, you know, keeps the fish alive and safe, but yet it gets to enjoy fishing. And then here you have the mermaid. And then we've got gnome meets mermaid. Gnome loves mermaid or befriends mermaid, whichever way you want to look at it. We have your artist. And this is the front cover. So slightly. It's a bit different. You see? She just added a few more things. Yeah, just this frame. Then you have the mermaid. And then the other artist picture. And that is the end of the book. Such a beautiful, awesome book. So that is Gnomes in the Neighborhood. The next book I bought myself was The 100 Hugs by Chris Riddle. It is a book, not a coloring book, but quite a few colorists do enjoy coloring out of this book. So I got it because sometimes I really just want a hug, and the day might be really busy and there's no one to give me a hug, and in which case I often also just feel that just coloring a hug would be sufficient. And I also have a very good friend who loves Chris Riddle's books and illustrations, so I tend to think of her, and she's also a great hugger. So I got this book mainly for sentimental reasons. I'm not going to flip through the whole book, but I will just give you a little bit of an idea what is inside the book. They're just beautiful little illustrations, quite quick to color. The paper is very thin, so you don't get to layer up the colors a lot. I've already started on this one. So yeah, so the whole book is just full of these beautiful drawings by Chris Riddle, all to do with hugs. So that is 100 Hugs by Chris Riddle. Another small book I bought myself this month is Reptiloids. And this book is by Vasil Seiko. And I bought this book because, again, it's small, quick coloring, And also I've seen a few colorists color this book, especially using markers and then going over the markers with colored pencils. And I thought it would be quite fun just to have a go. The style is very much caricature, but I find it's quite a quaint caricature style, so definitely one I would like to pursue and just have a bit of a play with. Here I've done a bit of a marker base, and this is just normal Amazon printed paper, so nothing very fancy. And again, I think you wouldn't really get a whole lot of layers, but with a mixture of watercolor or markers as a base, you'd be able to build up the color relatively quickly and still have vibrant colors. What I do love is the book has got single-sided pages, so it does really open up quite a variety of options for you. Some of the pages are landscape and others are portrait, and it's really just taking the reptilian side of things and giving them a bit of a human aspect to it, or a human character. And they're designed to be funny and humorous, to put a smile on your face. This one is probably my least favorite. Yeah, that's Reptiloids by Vassal Seiko. And then finally, I got myself a gem of a coloring book. Now, Clara Marcova's books are absolutely beautiful. She only releases a limited amount of copies per book that she creates. And as far as I understand, after that, the coloring book will be out of stock, and the only way to get it would be to wait patiently for secondhand books. So I got this book secondhand. There are pages already colored in here by other people who have this book. I didn't mind buying it secondhand, namely because I wanted one of Clara Marcova's books for myself. I want to try her beautiful artwork and see how I relate to it and get on with it, and just having a feel for it. On Etsy, the only coloring book Clara Marcova has, and it is going for about £50, including postage, which is a really lot of money on Etsy to spend on a coloring book. At least for me, it's a lot of money. So I got this secondhand for a much cheaper option, still quite a lot, and decided I would treat myself and just really enjoy the work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly show you. So this is someone else's coloring. I don't know who colored it, but it's very beautiful, and I quite appreciate looking at someone else's artwork and just being inspired by the beauty that they've left in the book. So I'm hoping to color in this book really soon, and I want to get a feel for the paper and a feel for these beautiful designs. This particular book was the first, as far as I know, the first book Clara Marcova released. So if you go look on Instagram, you'll find quite a lot of pictures already colored in, and you can use that for inspiration. So here's another page already colored in, so we'll skip that. I don't mind that there's a few pages colored in. I'm quite happy to rather have a rare book and have the privilege of coloring it in myself than to really, miss out on the experience. I think for me it really just boils down to experiencing the illustrations and the journey of coloring them in. I think that for me is more valuable than necessarily a brand new book. So and what I'm finding at the moment is if I can find a book secondhand and it's in good condition, I'm very happy to buy it secondhand. At least for now. It does save costs and it helps me grow my coloring book collection. So again, this is a page that's colored in. I'm quite keen to color this page. So it's right now it's a choice between this page and there's another page with a violin. Now a friend of mine, she's got children who enjoy music and are very musical, so if I color the violin page, it will be, so again another illustration done by somebody else. If I color the violin page, it will be just in memory of that particular family. But just really beautiful drawings. I quite appreciate that there's not a lot of people or fairies in this particular book. I'm not 100% sure yet if Clara's style of people is my style, but I'm very happy to test it out and see how it goes. I think if you create a bit of a sunset background here, it would look really lovely. I find it quite humorous that the fairies in this particular book are naked. I've never thought of naked fairies before, so I find it a bit amusing. And this beautiful double page spread. So just really, really beautiful drawings. I'd have to get used to colouring the fairies and the elves. I'm not quite sure how to colour them because they are a bit more cartoonish than some of the portraits that I do colour in. But again, a lot of opportunity to colour realism. I think her style really does lend itself to a form of realism as well. So this is my rare treasure, and I think it's called Magical Delights by Clara Marcova. So that is my treat, my little mini haul for April. Every few months Also, what I'm planning on doing is saving up and then every few months buying myself a bit of a treat. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment below, and thanks so much for watching and stopping by. I will see you in the next video. Take care.